I am 31 today, flipping God forbid. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Being worried about being 31, because some would say 30 is old, and some would say 30 is young. If you're in your 70s, 30 is young. If you're in your 20s, or 20, 30 is old. So what does it mean to be 30? I'm still going on about 30, even though it's the year since I turned 30. I was going to say 30 years since I turned 30 then. But it's a year since I turned 30, and that was a big one for me. Why was it a big one? Well, obviously you can understand on a logical level that it's a big one because you feel you should be further on in life, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be feeling this, feeling that often. That's really what it's about. Normally he's in his crate, only 5 months, and this is a joy and delight that came into my life last year, which is wonderful. But anyway, what am I talking about in this narcissistic rant? We as a society have certain expectations, and we all understand that the reason we feel miffed off or unfulfilled or clutching at straws when we hit milestones is because we feel we should be at X point because of the societal conditions. But for me, it's not so much that I was laid down, bless him, because wouldn't it be wonderful? You ever met someone in life who just knows exactly what they want? They know exactly what they want to go for. They've always wanted to be a dentist, for example, and then they become said dentist and they're happy until they're not. But there are people like that, right? Who don't seem to think too deeply on this. And I do not say this judgmentally at all. I say it kind of in awe to some degree. But they train to be a dentist. They've got their path. They know their goals, and they work towards them. What I do, and I don't know if you do this as well, is set a goal, start working towards it, go hell for leather, and then start to doubt it. And then remember that you're on a planet floating in vast nothingness. And is that goal really valid? Does that goal really make a difference? Does that goal really make a tangible change? And so the conclusion I've come to is maybe I just need to have kids. Because at the end of the day, back in the day, you would have had kids at 31. And I will be having kids in the next few years. But right now, I don't have kids. And there is certainly a yearning that has happened to me that I've been surprised about. So maybe this is just what happens when society does not have kids at a certain age. You start to think too deeply. You can't just go to work because, is this work my purpose? Is purpose ego? Are all these books about finding your purpose just there to sell books? Or should we actually be pondering deeply on this? Because you could say that any job that you do has a purpose. So is it just arrogance, or is it ambition? Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. But what is greatness? Is it ego? Again, this is greatness, this dog, by the way. There's some moments like this where it just, Anyway. So why am I making this video? I don't know really. I'm 31. I saw a video last night about not being the consumer and being the creator, and I think there's definitely a temptation to wait for the perfect moment, and I used to put out a lot more posts and that kind of thing. But now I don't, because I'm not quite sure on the perfect business model. I'm not quite sure on the perfect niche. I don't have a niece. Not yet, anyway. I'm not quite sure on the perfect niche. I'm not quite sure on the perfect business model. I'm not quite sure on the perfect trajectory. So here I am at 31 asking these questions. Is anyone else asking these questions? Is it just me? Do I have some issues? We all have issues. But anyway, it all comes back to these brief moments of joy where you're waiting for your partner who's coming into the supermarket and organising some afternoon tea, bless her, cotton socks, and you are having dog sleep on you. These profound moments, because we used to work hard all day gathering firewood, preparing the meal, and then you'd sit in front of the fire and you feel that feeling That's what it's all about, really, isn't it? But now, obviously, things are a lot more convenient, so we don't feel that as much. But anyway, that's that. There's my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts about my thoughts, if anyone has been so kind as to stay with me for 5 minutes and 15 seconds. And I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, but I do intend to put more thoughts out there. Well, because why not? Anyway, as they say in Italy, goodbye. And as they say in England, arrivederci. From Angus and me and Cliff in the corner. He's not my dog, but he is a friend, and he is who he is. Goodbye.